What's up, world? I am the Swamee, and I'm doing a quick reaction to Game 2 of the 2019 NBA Finals. The Toronto Raptors hosting Golden State Warriors. Golden State pulling out the victory, evening the series 1-1. So, what are my thoughts? Steve Kerr must have been listening to the Swamee. He put in Boogie Cousins, and that paid off big time. Those dividends were completely vital to this win. Swamee salute to Boogie Cousins, showing the heart, showing that he wants to be there. He understands the stage. He understands what it means for his career. He might not get back there. He went hard on the rehab. Salute to him for being ready and seizing the moment, giving them the stones that they did not have in Game 1. The Toronto front court was not able to abuse Golden State the way they did in Game 1, and that was all because of Boogie. It also allowed Draymond to sort of roam around with less responsibility and be a little bit more of a pest on defense. And you saw the difference too in Game 2. So it all started with Boogie, as I said it would. Also, big up to the Golden State bench. Swamee salute. Coming up big in the end of the third quarter. I also want to give a Swamee salute to Clay, who at the beginning of the game really kind of held them down when it looked like Toronto was going to try to run away with this thing. Steph was kind of doing that Steph thing every now and then. And Clay was the anchor. He's probably not going to get talked about aside from his injury, but he kept them around to have a chance. So I got to give Clay a salute. Also did a great job on defense. He guarding Kawhi pretty good, to be honest. He's stepping up to that challenge too. So I think the real MVPs of the game, in my opinion, Boogie, Clay. Shout outs to Iggy. That last shot obviously was the backbreaker. You know he's going to take this shot and probably make it. He's got kind of a Robert Horry-like mystique or aura about him for those last second shots where he doesn't make anything until the final shot of the game. Draymond stepped up, put his money where his mouth was after Game 1, so I got to salute him a little bit for that too. Shout outs to Bogut, Air Bogut. Look at the hang time. Look at the flying motion. But nonetheless, they earned it. And they're in the driver's seat. I originally picked Toronto in 7. That might be Golden State in 6 now. Except for maybe one thing, which I think might have more of an effect on the series than any player, and that's the status of Clay's hammy. Hamstrings don't heal. If that thing is a tear or a severe strain, he's going to have to play through that for the rest of the series. And how are you going to guard Kawhi and all those players on 1.5 or one leg? That might have a really adverse effect, in my opinion. That injury did not happen on that shot where Clay kind of fell to the ground and tried to bait a whistle. Hamstring injuries, especially torn or pulled hamstring injuries, are injuries of attrition. Those are injuries that happen throughout the course of time. The hamstring is getting frayed. That's Clay guarding 6'1" speed demons like Lillard, having to run around and keep up with Harden and everybody else. That hamstring doesn't stand up all the time. And guess what? Pop goes the weasel. So hopefully it didn't pop too hard. We're going to find out in the next day or two. That could have serious ramifications for the series if Clay has to play, miss time, or has to play on a bad hammy, because that can affect everything. That can even affect the jump shot. So let's see what happens with that. Steph came through a little bit in the third quarter, end of the second quarter, but he started doing some things. That technical foul, that missed dunk in Houston. He's not handling the trap very well. He's being careless with the ball, but he can make shots. I want to see him be a little bit smarter, but nonetheless, he made the shots that he had to make, and they came out with a victory. So let's see what happens. The ball is now in Toronto's court. They're going to have to make the adjustment to Golden State's adjustment. Let's see what they're going to do to counteract Boogie. Let's see what they're going to do to try to steal back home court advantage. My opinion, they're going to have to try to do it. Game 4, I think, would be easier for them to do it, but they don't want to give up Game 3 either. So, Game 3 is going to be big. I think Game 4 is going to be even bigger. And they do not want to go down 3-1 going to Toronto. So they got to win one. I think if they don't win one in Golden State, they're going to lose in Game 5. That's just my gut reaction. I'm going to dwell on that a little more before I make it official. But nonetheless, Salute to Golden State. It is a series, folks. It ain't gonna be no sweep either way. This is gonna be a gut fight. This is gonna be a war. It's gonna be about who wants it the most and who isn't scared. And I'm willing to see who that person and who that team is gonna be. I'm looking forward to it. NBA Finals, NBA action is fantastic, and the Swamee has spoken.